Welcome everyone to Kashiwa and the SANKYO Frontier, the stage for our live J-League action between Kashiwa Reysol and Hokkaido Consadole Sapporo. Two sides separated by 7 points in the bottom half of the table, but both coming into this off the back of midweek wins. It's just 2 defeats in 10 now in all competitions for Kashiwa Reysol. Was Consa's victory over Jubilo Owata on Wednesday, just a second of their league season, lifted Misha Petrovic's team off the bottom of the table, now trying to play catch-up after such a difficult start to the campaign. Well, these clubs reconvene in Kashiwa for the first time in the J-League since Consadole won 5-4 here in one of the games of last season, back in June of last year. Reysol have won twice against Consa in League and Cup since then. Indeed, they went all the way to the Emperor's Cup final in 2023, a year when they stayed in this division and avoided relegation by just 1 place and 4 points. But Masami Ihara's side have been tough to beat this time around, losing just 3 of 13 in J1 so far. They hope to make home advantage count here against the only club yet to win away in this division this season. Consa has scored only 3 goals and conceded 15 in picking up 3 points from 6 games on their travels so far. Nobody's let in more goals in J1 this season than the side from Sapporo, who are now in a club record 8th successive season in the top flight. Improvements, though, are required at both ends of the pitch if they are to extend that sequence. Show signs against Jubilo Owata moving in the right direction. They currently sit 3 points short of safety. Sense this as an opportunity today as well. It's the side who struggled last season. Signs of progress from Reysol in the current campaign. Let's have a look at the team news for you. Kashiwa Reysol make just the 1 change to a winning side after beating Shonan Bellmare on Wednesday. That is a notable one, though, in midfield. Kazuki Kumasawa comes in for a first ever J1 League start, having been brought off the bench in the last 2 matches. The former Japanese under-18 international replaces Takumi Sushiya, who is named amongst the subs instead. Otherwise, it is as you were, with the ever-present Mateus Savio, their 3-goal top scorer this season. While Hosoya has led the way in the last 2 years. He scored just once in this current campaign, but got both the Reysol goals, and they won 2-1 at Consa in the club's last meeting in September. He again starts up front alongside Koyamatsu. Well, it's a 10th J1 League appearance this season for referee Yuda Yamamoto from Kyoto. Now in his 13th year in this division. Through the pre-match formalities with the captains, Shuhei Shimazu and his team provide the backup in the booth on the VAR duty for this one. Misha Petrovic also makes just the 1 alteration to the Consadole Sapporo side, who recorded only their 2nd victory of the league season in midweek. That is enforced because Yuya Asano, who scored the only goal in that 1-0 win at home to Jubilo Owata, suffered a hamstring strain at the end of the game and has been ruled out today. So in for a first start of the J1 campaign comes the South Korean striker Kim Gun-hee, who's been brought off the bench in their last 5 league matches. Indeed, he starts for the first time in this division since April of last year. In contrast, Yoshiaki Kawai, just behind him, continues his ever-present record in 2024. Sayababa and Takumu Arano have both begun every J1 game as well this season. It's a big opportunity for Kim up top today. He's had to bide his time after an injury-interrupted start to the season. Scoring goals has been the issue for both, really, in the opening couple of months of the campaign. Showing signs more recently of being able to improve on that. Also haven't scored more than once in a game until each of the last 2 matches. 3-3 at FC Tokyo, and then the 2-1 win here against Shonan Bellmare on Wednesday. Tight turnaround, but they have a little bit of momentum building. The side from Kashiwa, just northeast of the capital city of Tokyo, in the Chiba prefecture. They will start the favourites here at home this afternoon. They're almost ready for the start. The team's coming into it on a high. It's not been the case for much of the campaign. Progress recently for both. Let's see who can continue that here. Kick-off in Kashiwa, 7 points and 7 places between the clubs, with Reysol having won 5 of their last 6 contests against Consa, notably though losing the last league game here in that 5-4 thriller last summer. On the evidence of this season so far, they have made more progress since then, but can they back it up today? They're in their traditional colours, the home side in the yellow and black, so their change strip all in the way. Yet to record a victory away from home in J1 this season. Consadole, every trip from the island of Hokkaido, a lengthy one for them, of course. Will reap any reward today. This little period of possession for them here to build from the back. It's been a possession-based game under Petrovic primarily this season. This is a little more promising for them early on. No way through for Kondo, though. Taken up a threatening position there on the edge of the penalty area. Average actually have come to the 5th most possession of any side in this division this season. Haven't quite been able to translate it into a goal threat as yet. The scorers away from home in J1 with just those 3 goals. Kondo once more. To him by Kim Gun-hee, at least that was the intention, just running out of room. Recall of last year, the last time that Kim started in this division, the former Suwon Blue Wings player back home in South Korea. It's the start of this season through injury. Come off the bench in each of the last 5 games before being afforded his chance from the start today. Could be an early chance for Consa. Kondo heavily involved again. He's the one that provides the cross. Hasn't been dealt with. The shot when it came wasn't particularly convincing. Matsumoto was able to make the save. Still the threat. Aoki, the only player actually in this Consa side to have scored more than once this season. By Diego. Neatly done, and it might open up some space here for the home side. Mateus Savio is their provider-in-chief this season, trying to slip it through towards second aid, continued the run forward from fullback. Nearly but not quite. 4 assists so far, 3 goals so far this season for Matheus Savio. He's into double figures, 4 assists last season as well. The Brazilian's in his 6th year at the club. Shirai there have made the run as well. Slipped in towards his path, but just too far in front of him. And Sugano in goal, able to come and gather at his feet, get there first. See the nosebleed there for Shirai. So one of the ever-presents in Masami Ihara's team this season. They have played a game fewer than Consa. Although they have lost just the 3 times so far, it was just the 4 victories in 2024. Turning draws into wins has been something of an issue throughout the stages of this season. Suga, left of that familiar back 3. 3-4-2-1 system under Petrovic has become very familiar, and they've got plenty in the penalty area here, trying to profit, and it goes towards Kim Gun-hee. Still yet make something of this. Zawa. Sawyer back doing his defensive duties is the one that's able to come clear with it. Didn't get too far though. Japanese international, highly rated Mao Hosoya. The Japanese squad that won the Under-23 Asian Cup earlier in the season, a week or so ago now. These games that he missed whilst away with his country, the only games that he's missed this season. Last year's 14-goal top scorer. Consadole have settled into this possession-based game that I was referencing already, haven't they? Touch here for Kondo, just got away from him. Bagler in support. Zawa got back. 17th season with their senior side for the one-club player Hiroki Miyazawa. Hokkaido born at the age of 34, starting a 2nd consecutive game, having returned to the team for the first time in 4 on Wednesday. Understandable, Petrovic not wanting to make too many changes from that victory. Beaten 3-0 at Kawasaki Frontale, the Bafatomi Gomez hat-trick in their previous away game last weekend. First win in 6 games in all competitions, the first victory in 7 in J1 in midweek for Consa. Two have been finding a little bit of resilience though. They've only lost 2 of 9 now coming into this. Similarities between these 2 sides this season. Komai reaching it ahead of Koga, stood his ground. And the collision down by the corner flag, one for the referee Yamamoto to sort out. Every minute of 12 of the previous 14 games this season, started all of them. Yoshiaki Komai, Kyoto Sanga and Urawa Reds. There's Koga once more. Just a minute, the skipper this season for Kashiwa Reysol. Diego. 8th successive season in Japanese football now is the left back. Second year with Reysol since he signed from Sagan Tosu. They've had consistency of selection for the most part, particularly at the back this season. Sonoda in goal, starting every game. His second season as the regular in goal, his 5th year at the club in total. 3 clean sheets for him so far this season. Most opened up for the shot. It's been well won back here by Diego. Seen much of Reysol yet as an attacking threat. Could be about to change here. Shirai to Diego. Koga joining in as well, stepping forward from centre back. This was Inukai. 3 in the penalty area here. The ball in needed to be a little bit better to take advantage of that, though. To be cleared away, but a bit more attacking intent from those in yellow. To Savio. Quite have the angle from there. Kumasawa. Done by Hosoya. Be looking for that little bit more, certainly in terms of goal output from Hosoya. Top scorer in each of the last 2 seasons for the club. Still only 22. He's got 6 caps for Japan at senior international level already. Going for it here. Savio, I think, was trying to find him as he drove towards goal. This threat well dealt with, well chronicled after the season that he has had so far. Only Hosoya actually scored more than Mateo Savio last season. He's their top scorer this term with those 3 goals so far. Big appeals in the referee's direction. Yamamoto lets it go. Reysol have it back. By Shirai. Toshima. Koyamatsu takes over. At the end of it this time, trying to link with Hosoya, who opened his account for the campaign with that winning goal against Shonan Bellmare on Wednesday. He came from behind late in the match and won it in stoppage time. It's the 10 of Shonan Bellmare. In the end. Much more menacing from the home side in the last few minutes. Hosoya this time working the channel. It's taken away from him by Sayababa. Toshima there starting for the 3rd game in 4. He's featured now in the last 10 matches. Missing the start of the season, the former Albirex Nagata player. So Kumasawa's going to take the long throw here. They brought Inukai up from the back for it. He has got really decent distance on that, straight into the heart of the danger area. Kumasawa beginning to make a name for himself. It's his 2nd season of senior football after he joined from university, but he only made his J1 debut last month. Off the bench in the last couple of matches, he starts in this division for the first time today. After that early possession from Consa, I haven't seen a lot of the ball more latterly. Kondo here waiting to take the throw. He was relegated last season with Yokohama. They were the only side actually that finished below Kashiwa Reysol in last season's table. A 9 straight start, a 10th in total for his new side. So signing for this season for Kondo. He's the only player in the Consadole starting lineup today that wasn't with the club last year. By many intents and purposes, an underwhelming campaign last year for Consa. Free scoring, but they conceded a lot. They haven't been as free scoring this season, but they are under pressure defensively here. It's a good hit. Struck with real intent by Shirai. A bit of space to advance as those in white backed off him. Did get the touch over the top from Sugano. Is it perhaps needed? Nearest of touches from the goalkeeper, but potentially a very important one there. At the expense only of this corner kick. Sides have struggled from set pieces this season. Neither have been particularly productive. All with the chance to change that here. Mateus Savio waiting to take it. Referee spotted something though in the middle. Now here comes the corner in low this time. Suga. Aoki. More space. Superchok acknowledges the intent to find him because he'd made the run and put himself in a useful spot there. Superchok Sarachet. Aoki, who was trying to find him. Superchok getting a regular run in the starting lineup again. It's a 7th consecutive start for him today. The Thailand international. More of rich potential for Consa in attack. Something of a breakthrough year last season when he scored 7 times. Just the 1 goal so far in 2024. Sugano only falling to touch with the clearance. He's kept the 3 clean sheets as well so far this season. The Consadole goal. Goal difference of -14 was the worst in the division going into this weekend. Sanga's heavy defeat, which has just been confirmed earlier today. The only side below Consa in the table. Let's change that statistic. They're on -18 now in terms of their goal difference. -5-0 earlier today by Sanfrecce. Nothing at the end of that. Both of Aoki's goals for Petrovic's team coming against Shonan Belmare. Serbian-born Austrian in his 7th season in charge now. More games managed in this division than any other coach in the competition's history. Initially, of course, with Urawa Reds and Sanfrecce Hiroshima as well. His first job in Japan, and he was actually relegated, was Petrovic, in his first season in charge of Sanfrecce. He led them straight back to promotion and into the Champions League. It remains the only relegation on his CV. There's a danger that there might be another this year, given the way that Consa has started the campaign. In 2006. First moved to the J-League. Sanfrecce Hiroshima actually reached the Empress Cup final in that same season that they went down. Reysol reaching the Empress Cup final last year. It's the highlight of an otherwise disappointing campaign for them. Helped by the fact, of course, that only one team did go down last year, with the league increased to 20 teams for this season. They were the beneficiaries of that, really. Only Yokohama behind them. They lost that cup final only on penalties in a shootout to Kawasaki Frontale at the National Stadium. After a goalless draw. Trophies in the cabinet from previous years, looking to get back towards former glories, and looking to take the shot on here ambitiously was Toshima. Thought it worth chancing his arm from that sort of range. Got plenty of power behind it, blocked behind for the corner. Twice champions of Japan, Reysol, including in the J-League era in 2011. They've won 3 Emperor's Cups. Their last trophy was the League Cup back in 2013. They have the corner here, almost 20 minutes in Kashiwa. Travelling fans behind that goal, hoping this stays out of their goal. Helped on by Hosoya, back across goal and touched in from Toshima. And Reysol in front. First league goal of the season for Shashiro Toshima. He was the one that touched it in, because Consa didn't really deal with the danger from the corner. Sawyer with the initial header. It was then turned back across goal, back into trouble by Inukaya from centre-back. And Toshima, who scored 3 times last season, who was on target in their second round victory in the League Cup earlier this season, was able to open his J1 account for the campaign. And a very presentable opportunity that came his way. It's taken 20 minutes, and the home side in front in Kashiwa. Looking to put 10 points between these clubs in the standings, looking to move back into the top half of the table today, Reysol. And in the mood for more, maybe. It's just taken off Kumasawa. Arano. He gets it back from his goalkeeper. Under some pressure, though, is Takuma Arano. As therefore was Sugano as well, in attempting to complete the clearance. Papa. So now they're going to have to do it the hard way. Either side for the goal scorer Toshima. He's just able to play the pass before he then went down, but the referee has now pulled it back. Baba, who's down, who did actually, I think, just get his foot to that first before then being inadvertently caught by Toshima. His earlier touch had been a little heavy. Baba back to his feet. Not missed a game yet this season. Player under Petrovic. In fact, he is, and it tells you something about the extent of their struggles in front of goal this season, but the centre-back is their joint top scorer. And Aoki with 2 goals each, leading the way in that statistic. Doesn't bode well for their prospects of getting back into this one. Switching the play is Aoki. Suga in support. Superchok in there as well. goes, and that was neatly done. Goalkeeper out quickly to make the save at the feet of Komai. Matsumoto did really well, because Yoshiaki Komai must have fancied his chances of levelling it up from this type of territory. Kim Gun-hee did brilliantly to find him. That's all the goalkeeper could do, really, off his line very quickly. Made himself big. Kept out Komai. He's yet to score this season. Didn't get many better opportunities without opening his account. It's good goalkeeping from Kenta Matsumoto. At some personal cost. He displayed the bravery required, the reflexes required to preserve the lead for Ihara's team. First time, really, that he has been called into notable action this afternoon. Komai there, left to reflect on the one that got away. This goal was the 2-1 victory at home to Yokohama at the end of October last year. Shots on target now for Consa in the opening quarter of the game. It's unusual, actually, for them to fall behind early in the match. The 3-0 defeat at Frontale, in which Nefertiti Gomez scored that hat-trick, is in fact the only game where they didn't score the first goal since the 6-1 defeat that they suffered at Vissel Kobe at the end of March. Getting themselves in front has not been a problem this season for Consadole. Holding on to leads has. Today, it may well need to be a role reversal. Good to see him pretty swiftly back on his feet. Is able to clear it away. So Reysol came from behind, beating Shonan Bellmare in midweek. Reina scored the game's first goal against FC Tokyo. They proceeded to fall 3-1 behind in that game before scoring twice in the second half to rescue a point. It's been eventful lately in these parts. Strong starts this season, Reysol. They took 7 points from the first 3 games. They only lost one of their first 9 in J1. Back-to-back defeats at Shida Zelvia and Kashima Atlas, which they have recovered to a certain extent, particularly if they can go on and win this one. They do have space in which to operate again. Covering good ground here was Koyamatsu. Toshima, the goal scorer. For him this time. Previously on target in that aforementioned League Cup second round win at Thespa Gunma late in April when they came into the competition against the second tier side. They're back in action in that competition actually on Wednesday at home to Avispa Fukuoka in round 3. Just about dealt with by Diego, with some assistance from Matsumoto in goal. Consa involved in that League Cup competition as well. They go to Nagano Pasera of J3 on Wednesday night in round 3. So came through against third tier opposition in the previous round. 3 goals to 1 at Azul Claro. Competition in which they reached the quarter-finals last season. Here was for the foul on Mateus Savio, taken pretty quickly. Natsu was the target. Sugano had read the danger. Brazilian Mateus Savio has stayed down after the earlier collision. It's Kim Gun-hee involved in that coming together. Had hold of him before bringing down the Brazilian from a Flamengo play. Centre forward has been a problem for Consadole this year. The latest to get his chance from the start. Hasn't quite happened for the likes of Shashi Suzuki yet. He's a regular in the role earlier in the season. Played a false nine at times as well. Shingo Mori got a go a little earlier in the season as well. He's back on the bench today. Yet being able to find a reliable goal scorer. Captain Arano, 15th season, the only club that he's played for. He was amongst the scorers in that remarkable 5-4 victory here at Reysol last season. Open up for them here. That was neatly done. Kondo up until the finish. Shimmied into space to open up the side of goal. Came after Diego had missed it. Kim just touched it into his path. He did really well there to take Inukai out of the equation. Just couldn't quite keep it down. And they have had their chances in pursuit of parity, couple of them now. First for Komai, then for Kondo. Petrovic's team still trail. Concede the free kick here for the foul on Sekine. He's another actually like Hosoya, who was part of the under-23 Asian Cup winning team with Japan. Five times in Qatar as they took the title to qualify for the Olympic Games. Certainly a regular in his second season out of university. Toshima's done well here. Mateus Savio trying to pick the pass for Hosoya. That'll be a free kick. Acknowledged immediately by Sekine. Third straight start since his return from international duty. Fully applicable to Hosoya, his teammate in that competition. There's Arano, who opened the scoring actually in that 5-4 here last year. Sides traded goals in stoppage time. Tanaka's effort 3 minutes beyond the 90 proved to be the winner. One of the most memorable games of last season in the J-League. Victory for Petrovic's team that day, very much the exception to the recent rule, with Reysol winning 5 of the last 6 in all competitions, 3 of the last 4 in J1. His last visit here wasn't quite as eventful. They were beaten by a goal to 0 in the 4th round of the Emperor's Cup in August. Arano to Kondo to size up the cross, cleared as far as Takuma Arano. Sekine. Mateus Savio's sticking pretty tight to the touchline over on that right-hand side so far. So had made the run. It was read by Okamura. Suga's clearance, charged back his way and all the way back. Okamura actually only returned to the team on Wednesday after missing the previous couple of matches, otherwise he's been a regular. Started the first 9 games of the season. He's the one at the heart of the back 3 today, Daihachi Okamura. Suga often stays pretty wide on the left. Moreno. Some of his home city side, finding Suga. 3 goals last season for Daiki Suga. He does tend to take them on from distance. That was ambitious in the extreme. He does have a little bit of previous in that respect. This is Miyazawa. Sayababa dispossessed. Could spell trouble. Matteo Savio with support either side. Looking for Hosoya, who is in behind here. And just showed too much of it to Okamura. He was able to get back and intervene importantly. Because Sapporo was certainly stretched. It's the danger really for Petrovic's team here. An issue that they've not really yet got to grips with all season. Pick the pass for Kondo. This was a chance for Hosoya. He didn't quite take it on early enough. Hoping to kick on after his match-winning goal at the end on Wednesday. He failed to score in his first 8 appearances of the season. Uncharacteristically so, really, in this Reysol side, where he is the genuine threat. He's only 22, he's in his 6th season, part of the senior setup already. Went to the Asian Cup with both the under-23s and with the senior side for Japan. This year he played a couple of times in Qatar in January. Returned to win it with the under-23s. Uzbekistan in the final at the start of the month, to ensure that they will be in Paris later in the summer at the Olympics. Not too interested in pressing too high at the moment, affording Consa possession in this part of the pitch. A little bit of a standoff briefly ensuing. Suga moves back to Sugano. That's the experienced 40-year-old goalkeeper, Takanori Sugano, on a 7th season with Consadole. A difficult season so far. Started all but 2 of their league games. He's conceded 23 times in his 12 appearances before today. Another one already today with which he had little chance. That one just skips away from Aoki. There's Koga. Shirai. Try and build from the back where possible. Longer ball is comfortably cut out by Sugano on the opposition goal. Sugano, of course, a very familiar figure to today's opponents, having spent 7 years with Kashiwa Reysol. He was a title winner with them here. Suga, always going to get the decision there. It's a bit of a role reversal. Matteo Savio trying to go back with him and stop him. And did so unfairly in dangerous territory. And maybe just got it caught under his feet a little bit, had Suga. Probably settle for the set piece, given the type of territory that it's in. His side look for a route back before half-time here. He's actually one of those standing over the ball, along with Super Chop. Might fancy this as well. decent support from Sapporo, those that have made the lengthy trip south from the island of Hokkaido. The opposite end of the field. As their side try and level this one up. So it is going to be a super chock. And it just brushed off the Reysol head, did it. After he's given the goal kick here, it looked like there was a touch on the way behind. He certainly felt so. And from what we've seen, he had a case. For a response from his team, with Misha Petrovic. Unfortunate, I think, not to get the corner there. Some distance on the clearance from Matsumoto, won by Aoki. Super chock again. Arano. For that with Matthias Savio, who's desperately trying to keep it in place, succeeds in doing so. Miyazawa is the player penalised. So regularly captains the club. It's Arano that has the armband this season. He hasn't missed a game. Has been in and out, starting every other match on average in 2024. Not enough really on the clearance there from Matsumoto. Touch for Komai, now for Arano. Final 5 of the first half. Frankie Suga forward. Go to Aoki. A combination down the left between those two. It's Miyazawa. You can see the frustration in the body language as this first half comes towards its conclusion. Consa still trail. Goal scored 20 minutes in by Sashiro Toshima, and it still separates the sides. Getting enough on that for Matsumoto. So permanent member of the squad now is Tomoya Inukai. Komura. Safety first. He got enough on the header back for Sugano. Inukai was on loan at Reysol last year from Urawa Reds. He joined last summer, made it permanent ahead of this season. This was just the one game since then. Aoki. Daiki Suga. Back to Aoki. All the way back again, though, to Sugano. Title winner in 2011 and Emperor's Cup winner in 2012 with Kashiwa Reysol, back at his former club today. Super chock. Suga, Aoki. So pretty much everyone here back behind the ball. Matthias Savio. Pressurised by Suga, found himself in a tight spot. It's a key battle that between those two in the overall context of this contest. Clear that quite as intended. Toshima. So finishing the half strongly in terms of territory. Forward for Komai, who was always stretching. Had a couple of big openings. Consadole that they've not been able to take. The first time this season where that has been applicable. Kumasawa. Second A into it with space to stride forward. Savio wants it and gets it. And has done really well here to take a couple of defenders out of the equation. And in towards Koyamatsu, who'd continued his run. Couldn't quite make the contact required as it came across quickly. Second A's won it back again. Savio. For the most part, has been relatively well dealt with by Consa in this first half, but did show a glimpse of what he's capable of there. There's the technical quality to make a difference today, certainly. Sugano again with a clearance, again a long way outside of his penalty area when it came his way. Acting as the sweeper keeper. He's just going to run away from Koyamatsu. And lunging in did Miyazawa. Last minute of the half. I don't expect too much to be added on at the end of it. Suga. 3 additional minutes from here. Toshima was able there to pick the pass for Koyamatsu. Got a foot in. Super chock deep in his own half. Not really where Consa wants him. Sayababa. His goals this season, making him their joint top scorer, coming against Nagoya Grampus and FC Tokyo. Didn't score at all last season. Regular on the right side of the back three this season. Suga here on the left is able to float it forward in towards Kim Gun-hee. Nearly came for Komai. Soya. Just enough on that from Miyazawa for Sugano. He'll afford the concession of another before half-time, but they haven't given up hope of levelling it themselves yet. Aoki. Spotted Kondo in space. Plenty forward here in white, even more back in the yellow and black. Baba dinks it in. Those sort of situations well so far of Kashiwa Reysol, as they're having to do. Flicked by Sayababa. Komai was underneath it. Back out only for Baba again. A little back heel. Wasn't able to locate a teammate. They're running out of time to get themselves back on terms in this first half, but there has been a very deliberate attempt to do so. Concerted period of possession towards the end of the half from Consadole. Can they find the end product here? Superchok had made the run. He will reach it, just held up by second A. Well, plenty in white in the middle, but Diego's header was a comfortable one for him. Rather less so the second one as it comes back his way. Matsu helping it on. Now maybe the counter-attack. Sawa was about to take possession when Diego went down just behind him. Will probably help them over the line, Ihara's team, in terms of this first half. Collision off the ball between Diego and Daihachi Okamura it was who was involved in that collision. Which is going to be the last action of this first period. which is a tight affair. Kashiwa Reysol with the only goal of the game so far, scored 20 minutes in by Toshima. Consa with a couple of big chances to get themselves back on terms pretty shortly afterwards that they weren't able to capitalise upon. They had plenty of possession and pressure as the half wore on. The side struggling just one off the bottom of the table are one behind at the SANKYO Frontier today. At the break, it is Kashiwa Reysol 1, Hokkaido Consadole Sapporo 0. Welcome back, almost set then for the start of the second half. Now the Sankyo Frontier. Consadole Sapporo are trailing Kashiwa Reysol by 1-0. Shiro Toshima, the scorer 20 minutes in. After Consa had failed to deal with a corner. The home side on course as it stands for back-to-back victories in the space of a week. After victory here against Shonan Bellmare on Wednesday, which could well lift them into the top half of the table as things stand. Consa just one off the bottom, need a response. They were winners as well in midweek. But a difficult campaign, showing a little sign of improvement unless they can turn things around in the second period. They did show enough, though, in attack to suggest that that is possible from here. So what the second half has in store. So it is Consadole Sapporo. They get the second half underway as they attempt to battle back from behind. Trailing to that Toshima goal to 0. Kashiwa this afternoon. So repeat of the scoreline as it stands from their last visit in the Emperor's Cup last season. Didn't quite had the drama of the last league meeting here, that 5-4 which went in Consadole's favour in June of last year. A little slip at the back from Koga. Could have been costly, they get away with it, and Inukai is able to gun it back for Matsumoto to clear it from one goalkeeper to the other. No changes in personnel, by the way, at half-time. Sugano, another of the lineups, just going across your screen. Followed by Suga towards Kim Kun-hee, and he will get on the end of this. An awful lot by way of support initially. Suga scrapping for that. And actually to help it on for Aoki to come away with it. Thank you, Suga. Arano. Sukachok. It was Aoki with a good ball in, and it's going to break here for Komai to level it. And that did not take long. 1-1. And Consa are back on terms inside the first 2 minutes of the second half. Forced in from Yoshiaki Komai, despite the presence of the defenders on the line. Not enough power on it to force it home from there. After it broke favourably for him off Diego into the path of Komai. Defender just couldn't quite do enough as it ran away from him. Komai, who was close to levelling it in the immediate aftermath of the opening goal that they conceded, has now done so at the start of the second half with his first goal of this season. And what an important one it could prove to be for Consadole. How they needed that at this stage. Just the lift required for Petrovic's team, and here they come in pursuit of more. Pursuit of turning it around already. Kondo taking on Diego and getting in behind him, and was almost able to pick out Komai. Still hasn't been dealt with. The clearance was a poor one. And there's the travelling fans that have made the long trip, who are enjoying themselves now behind that goal. Their mood has significantly shifted, as surely has his. The fourth goal that they've scored away from home all season in this their 7th trip outside of Sapporo. The only team, just to remind you, in J1 yet to win away from home this season. In fact, going back to last year, Consa have won only one of their last 15 away league matches. 3-1 at Tokyo in November at the end of last season. It's one that dates back to June of last year. They've given themselves something to work with in this second half. They are in the ascendancy just at the moment. Aoki played his part in the equalising goal with the ball in, and he's done really well here to pick the pass for Supachok, who forces the save from Matsumoto. Goalkeeper left frustrated and furious at the lack of protection really afforded him. Look at the space that opened up for Superchok there. Goalkeeper did well to beat it away, but he's certainly entitled to ask the questions of his defenders, because that one pass into the feet of Superchok really took the entire defence out of the equation. With the exception of Matsumoto in goal, who stood firm. Here comes the corner. Going out as far as Suga. Quite sit for him to strike it with the left foot, as he loves to do from that sort of range. Yoki again. Support from Superchok. Instead towards Okamura, it stayed up from the back. Out only as far as Suga. It's a different game, isn't it, in the early stages of this second half. This is much more like it from Consadole Sapporo. Buoyed by that equalising goal. Continue to take the game to the home side. Have looked uncertain at the back in the face of this sort of pressure. So 6 games in counting without a clean sheet for Kashiwa Reysol. Only one in the last 11 league matches. Unduly troubled, just 2 attempts on target from Consa in the first half, but a very different story now. Yoki playing his part in that, certainly. Homai scoring his first goal since the 2-1 win against Yokohama at the end of October. Need those home fans behind them now. 2 of the last 4 here at home, but only 2 of the last 10. Going back a bit further, and only 3 of the last 19. By Mateus Savio, that's a good ball. And here's Hosoya. He was onto it smartly. Sugano did just enough, as it turned out. Wasn't entirely convincing from the goalkeeper, but he turned it away from trouble. Turned it over the top. Well, Hosoya just for a moment was in. Mateus Savio waiting to take the corner kick. A bit of an in-swinger which was missed by Sugano. He's grateful, I'm sure, that nothing more came of that. Flashed beyond everybody in the end. The bounce beat them all. So now to re-establish an advantage. You suspect that Mateus Savio could well have a part to play for Kashiwa Reysol. The nervy moments for Sugano. Career that he has had down the years. J.LEAGUE Rookie of the Year back in 2007, which is what first earned him his move to Kashiwa. Started his career with Yokohama FC. Again has made the run. Okamura's gone with him. So may need a little bit of support, because Okamura did well to take it off him. Suga with the clearance. There's going to be space again as the game goes on, you suspect, given how open it is just at the moment. Mateus Savio seems to have taken up a slightly more central role in the second half. Toshima scoring the game's opening goal, but no longer the only goal. Back in to win the ball back. Arano gets a foot in. It's out by Diego. Koyamatsu. Mateus Savio. Neatly done again. Fumasawa couldn't quite force her way through. There wasn't a lot of room in which to work, and now maybe the Consa counter. The ground that Superchok has covered and how quickly he's done so. Komai. This is Kondo. So now have reorganised defensively and got players back in position behind the ball. Suga to Aoki. Arano. Superchok. Just trying to help it on towards Komai. Not quite with the accuracy required as it turned out. Mateus Savio hurdles the challenge, skips into space if he can keep it in. Not quite. Not quite. We'll have to settle for the throw. Sawyer. Quick thinking there from Mateus Savio. And it falls favourably his way again here. He was unselfish in squaring it. He might have been tempted to take the shot on. Was looking for Shirai instead. Now Sekine. And again. Has been a response now from Kashiwa Reysol. They've seemingly cleared their heads after the difficult start to the second half, but they do remain susceptible on the counter-attack. Challenge coming in from Toshima has produced the first yellow card of the game. I don't really think he can have too many complaints about it. Kondo was in full flight. And Hall back from behind. So first man taken is that of Sashiro Toshima. Standing over the free kick for Consadole. Mitsuyu Asuno, another regular, their match winner in midweek. Picked up a hamstring strain at the end of that game. Was taken off in stoppage time, unable to feature today. It's likely to be a big miss. He scored 12 times for them last season. 3 goals this year. Some space for them in which to work here. It's overhit. Will reach Aoki though to keep it in. Feeling something, is he? Ryota Aoki there. The ball slip away. That's the reason why. He's got a bit of an issue here. That will be a concern for his coach. Not much he hasn't seen in this game. 284th match in charge of Consadole. And over 260 games at the helm of Urawa Reds previously. In March of last year when he went past Akira Nishino's record for the most number of J-League matches at the helm. He's only really since continued to set new standards. Well, that was the opening goal from Toshima. A little bit of head tennis in the penalty area before he had the final say. And it was a lead that they held until half-time. But a lead lost within the first 2 minutes of the second half. So Aoki's not going to be able to continue here. Kazuki Hara is on in his place. The 18-year-old in his first season out of high school. Made a bit of an impact already. He started in the League Cup. And it's the 5th time that we've seen him off the bench already this season. All prompt changes from Masami Ihara as well, very shortly. Introduction of Hara for Aoki, seemingly forced upon Petrovic. It's Kondo. It's just behind Babri, covered a lot of ground to put himself in that position. Frustrated that he wasn't able to collect possession. Pass to him needed to be a little bit better. Miyazawa. Arano having a bit more of a say in terms of setting the tempo in this second half. as he's often so adept at doing. He's caught in possession there. Bounce just favoured Okamura. He was able to help him out. Reysol win it back. Sawyer helps it on. Mateus Savio in space to run at Suga here. Sawyer just reaching it ahead of Sugano. Sekine. Back from Mateus Savio. Sekine again. And then Hosoya trying to improvise at the end of it all and not stretching Sugano. The goalkeeper was in trouble a little earlier in the piece. Could go either way, this, couldn't it, from here? So finely balanced at the moment. Head rapidly towards the hour mark. Besides familiar opponents in recent seasons, they've met 7 times over the previous 2 years before today. Both of their away games actually in 2022 in the League Cup group stage. So famously, thrillingly winning here last year as well. Shira. A strong surge here, but Metsu just run out of room at the end of it. And it will prompt the changes, and plenty of them by the looks of things. We're going to see the introduction off the bench of Kinoshita, of Shimamura as well, and also of Tsuchiya, who's been a regular starter recently. So Kumasawa, Koyamatsu and Toshima, the goal scorer. Now the players making way, all change, particularly in those midfield areas. I was seeing enough on the hour. Appearance off the bench for Takuya Shimamura. His last start came in a 3-3 draw against Tokyo a couple of games ago. We're going to see a Konsa change as well. Toyo Nakamura was introduced in place of Kondo. That's an interesting one. That might mean a little bit of a reshuffle. Nakamura really a centre-back by trade. Off the bench for the 4th time in the last 5 games. And he's come through the youth ranks at the club. Another Hokkaido-born player in this Consadole squad. In his 4th senior season. Of Tsuchiya in place of Kumasawa. It's a reversal of the only change that was made to the starting lineup from midweek. Kinoshita has been their most used substitute this season. It's the 12th time for him off the bench. Scored as a substitute, got the equalising goal against Shonan Bellmare last time out on Wednesday. Took his total to 5 goals now for the season. He's been particularly productive when coming on in the second half of games. He's only started twice. 4 of his 5 goals this season have been from the bench. See what impact he can have in what remains. Am I trying to help it on here? Towards Kim, and almost came for Super Chop. Kim with the touch, now Arano leaving it for Suga to try and strike it. It's a painful one for the defender in the way, importantly in the way as it turned out, but Suga had certainly got plenty behind it. Arano, they still have that player down. The referee has stepped in to the frustration of those in white. It's Inukai, who was the defender in question. Caught the effort from Suga pretty flush here. Right on the side of the face. can understand the Consadole frustrations, given the pressure that they were applying, but equally, with the suspicion of the head injury, you can understand why referee Yamamoto had to call a halt. Just made that triple change. They won't want to have to switch it up again unless they have to. Yugo Tatsuta there would be the obvious replacement at centre-back if needed. And Okai's missed just the one game so far this season. He was unused on the bench for the defeat at Machida Zelvia at the start of the month. But otherwise has been ever present in the starting lineup. They're just checking now whether he's going to be able to continue this afternoon for what remains. From the Shimazu S. Paulson Kashima Antlers before his spell at Urawa Reds, from where he was signed last summer on loan and permanently as mentioned for this season. The decision whether he can continue will not entirely be his in these circumstances. Looks a little more promising for him, doesn't it? Painful one for him, but he was very much in the right place to stop the effort from Suga. Waiting for word. Incredible playing career he had, capped 122 times by Japan. He was actually previously their record appearance holder. He's now 4th in their all-time list, but most of that playing career with Yokohama F. Marinos. He was named in the all-time J-League Best 11 for the 30th anniversary last year. Selected to the Best 11 for 6 years in a row. It was Ihara. First joined Reysol as an assistant coach back in 2009. It's only his second year in the top job, having replaced Melcinio Baptista just over a year ago. Almost exactly a year ago, actually. Take a couple of days. Play back underway with Reysol trying to force the issue again, trying to reassert their authority. Sakane will take the throw. Koga to Diego. Thread the pass for Hosoya. He's done well here. Matteo Savio taking over. Those two attempt to combine. Shia got a foot in. Matteo Savio again has some space, and this time he goes for goal. It was securely handled and dealt with by Sugano. Could have been awkward this for the goalkeeper. With it well, kept his eye on it, collected it cleanly. Okai ducks out of that one. Okay to continue after that scare, as the game enters its closing quarter, with the outcome very much in the balance. Fifth successive season back in the J1 League for Kashiwa Reysol. Promotion as second-tier champions in 2019. They've established themselves back at this level. As I mentioned, they won in 2011. Previously champions back in 1972. It's a history that dates back 84 years. Away from Matteo Savio, nearly but not quite. were one of the original 8 founding members of the Japan Soccer League back in 1965. So much history around these parts. Daiki Suga. Taking over, goes back infield for Okamura. Sanole prioritised possession. And they mix it up. Suga on the stretch did really well to return that into a dangerous area where it had to be dealt with at the expense of the corner. This was excellent from Suga. He was in some space, but left him with an awful lot to do, and he very nearly made the most of it. Still potentially some reward for them from the corner. Ceded from one in the first half. Super to take it. Ponce's second corner of the game. It's into an awkward area again. Forward by Sugano. Super chop. Leaves it here for Miyazawa. Super chop. Unlucky there was no one on the end of that. It's just too far in front of Kim Gun-hee. Not too many other advanced targets in the penalty area for him. Here's another that was away at the Asian Cup earlier in the year with Thailand. It's his third season at the club now. He really has established a more regular role for himself, with the promise of more to come. Here come Kashiwa Reysol with Matheus Savio surging into space. And then just overhitting it a little bit. And a couple to try and pick out in the middle. Was unable to do so with that. He was inside his own half when he started the surge. Sawyer had gone with him and was calling for it. Couldn't quite reach it as well. He was also well placed on the near post. Second eight. Shimomura, the substitute. He lets this go. Matheus Savio trying to help it onto his compatriot Diego. Really, but not quite. It's been something of the story in the final third, certainly in the second half for Kashiwa Reysol. But they will keep on coming. They will continue to ask the questions. They will still believe that they can win the game. Equally applicable, really, to both sides at this stage. Inukai, who was down, the foot was a little high. That one lengthy period of treatment for a head injury already. But a free kick here is Inukai. Useful position to swing it in. He scored more than once in 2 games all season, Kashiwa Reysol in this division, but they were the last 2. Can they continue that trend? Matheus Savio is going to take the set piece. It's a good ball in. Still work for those in white to do to get this away. Shimomura. Matheus Savio, in it goes again. Kinoshita didn't quite come down quickly enough for him. And now the referee's got involved. You can see from some of the positions that he's taking up, the goal threat that he is able to provide late in games off the bench. I'm sure he'd like to start more matches, Kazuki Kinoshita, but he still had an important part to play. They actually came through the youth ranks at the German side, Freiburg. He's Played in Belgium, in Norway and in Sweden as well, before returning home to Japan with the Urawa Reds back in 2021. It's the fourth different club in Japan in the last 4 years since his return. It's not last season at Kyoto Sanga with Kinoshita. Sawyer trying to make his presence felt, just beaten to that. This is Arano. Reysol not hanging around, trying to keep the tempo high, keep the pressure on. In their pursuit of that aim, they are going to make another change, bring on Naoki Kawaguchi for the conclusion. It's the 8th straight game in which he has featured. It will be a like-for-like change, you would have thought, at right back for Sekine. Former Albirex Niigata player is on. It's not one of the more obvious game-changing moves from Ihara. Sekine might have picked up a little bit of an issue. Diego with the throw, he's got good distance on that. But as far as Inukai to loft it back in. Superchok under pressure when it came his way. Kim helping out as well, back in his own half. There's Okamura. Arano, Okamura. Brief little standoff. Consa back on the front foot, back into Reysol territory, albeit only briefly. The home side having a lot of work to do without the ball. They may well have expected that for large spells of the afternoon. Better ball, but Matheus Savio had read it and got something on it. Arano picking up the pieces though. Superchok. It's all well organised, certainly in the central areas. Defence well stocked in that part of the pitch. There might be space out wide. Not something really that Consa have been able to exploit yet. Perfectly placed to award the free kick. And Tsuchiya coming together. After getting the decision. Of the possession from those in white. Slightly above their seasonal average. And here they come with Nakamura. Himself a little isolated. He's not going to give up on it though. He's done really well to win it back against Kawaguchi. Superchok. Well, he could have been trying to go for goal there, but he also had seen Hara making the run far post, who very nearly got on the end of this. Was trying to bend it into a dangerous area, and it required the intervention of Diego just to ensure that Hara didn't reach it. Superchok will go across to take the corner. Superchok's delivery. Nakamura rising, it wasn't actually that far wide. Keeper, I think, knew that he wasn't going to be required though, Matsumoto. Clears it quickly, where his opposite number, Sugano, again is a long way out of his area to meet it first. Consa back on the front foot here. Arano. Superchok. Baba keeps it in. Arano towards Hara. That's when they have high hopes for Kazuki Hara. Very start of his senior career. In fact, already out of high school this year. Kimura keeps it in on the other side. This is Miyazawa. Arano. On by Suga. And again by Komai. And they're knocking on the door here, Consa. This is better. They do feel they can go on and win it. Put back-to-back victories together for the first time this season. There were plenty trying to attack it here. It was played in by Yoshiaki Komai. Scorer of the equalising goal, attempting to turn provider. Good for the Brazilians. It was over the head of Diego, which left Mateus Savio with a little bit of an issue just behind him. Both of them taking blows in the process. As for now, Reysol concentrate on holding what they have. They will be encouraged by the spirited second half response from their side. Those that have made the trip of around about 1,100 kilometres. Consa trying to yield maximum reward from this visit south. Surprise may be to see Kim Gun-hee still out there, given that it's his first start in over a year in the league. Superchok has had his moments as well, and maybe more of them more latterly, suggesting he can still have a significant say in the conclusion. You can see Hara that is the more concerned of the two managers at the moment. That's why he is readying a final change. Komai continued his run. Hara was attempting to pick the pass for him. Here comes that change then. Fumiya Unoki is going to replace Mateus Savio. It's a rare appearance for Unoki. It's only his second in the league this season. He spent the previous 2 years actually out on loan in J2 at Mito Hollyhock, back with his parent club and hoping to have a bit more of an impact. Hoping to do so on the conclusion of today's contest. Interesting change at this juncture by Ihara. Taking off Mateus Savio. Chief creative outlet all season long, really. Daiki Suga. Inoki himself is an attacking midfield player. He'll take up similar positions, perhaps. He's proven in the role so far. A local lad is Fumiya Unoki, born in the Chiba prefecture. Came through the youth ranks at the club, already in his 6th senior season. Diego, is he getting a bit too tight to Komai? Yeah, referee stepped in, produced the yellow card. Consadole wanting to take the free kick quickly. Wasn't going to get away with that one. Difficult day for him. An inadvertent part to play in the concession of the equaliser. It's a costly caution as well. It means he will miss the next game. It's his 4th of the season already. Spanning a 1-match suspension. Next league game, by the way, is a trip to Kawasaki Frontale 6 days from now. And then a midweek match at Yokohama F. Marinos, a rearranged fixture. Plenty to contend with here, though, first in the closing stages against Consa.
Finished the conversation yet, Diego, only just into the book, and there was that shove off the ball. He has to be very careful here. So Baba, who went down, referee had spotted it, which is why he's had words with him. He's walking a very fine line at the moment, having just gone into the book. Yet still, not convinced he's not going to continue that. I don't think referee Yamamoto is either. A very close watch on proceedings here. As the free kick is turned in towards trouble. Soshia away initially at the expense of the corner. Final 5 of the 90, and aside from Sapporo, looking the likelier winners just at the moment. Superchok to take it. Slightly deeper delivery. Goalkeeper didn't have a lot of room. I've been relieved to hear the referee's whistle. Matsumoto still managed to get something on it anyway. There's quite a lot going on in there, wasn't there, as the ball came across. Consa know, with the way that other results are going today, they would have the chance to move level on points with the teams outside of the bottom 3. And could this be their chance? Arano helping it on, and then getting it back again, albeit with back to goal. By Hara towards Superchok. Get another corner as the pressure continues. Really spirited showing this from Petrovic's side, who have stepped it up in the second half. Much more of this would suggest that they are more than capable of moving clear of trouble this season, despite that pretty wretched start that they had. Only took 1 point from their first 6 league games this year. They've been playing catch-up ever since, really. Goes the corner towards Okamura. Came off the defender, I think, in front of him. So it will be another one, despite the ongoing protestations of Inukai. This was Sawyer just behind him. He actually got the touch to it. So Superchok will try again. Rather more convincingly cleared this time. Suga leaving it for Sugano. Gets a decent distance on that. They're trying to mix it up here, Consa. Kim frustrated to hear the whistle, but was perhaps expecting it, judging by his reaction as he gets back to his feet first. Been involved in some neat build-up play, Kim Gun-hee, without yet really being on the end of an opportunity of his own in front of goal. Going to see further late changes here from the visitors. Zumi waiting to come on, and so too is Omori. He may well replace Kim up top, we shall see in a moment. So we're going to be added on, says the referee. Conversation continuing with his own coaching staff for Petrovic there. Just confirming this double change. So looks like Arano's going to come off. He's the first to make way. Superchok is the other one. So Kim stays out there. Ayazumi and Omori are on. And the 4th appearance of the season for Shingo Omori, 3 of them from the bench. It's the first time he's been involved actually since the game against Alvarez Niigata last month. Second season out of university for the former Japanese under-19 international. Last minute of the 90. That's the first involvement for Ayazumi, who had started actually 3 of the last 4 games. He's now featured in each of the last 6. His first season at the club since joining from lower league Iwaki for this year. Time rapidly running out though if either side is to go on and win this. Would be a 7th draw of the season already for Kashiwa Reysol. Would be half of their games finishing all square should it stay this way. Sixth time this season that Sapporo have shared the spoils as well, but there's 6 additional minutes yet before we get to that. Confirmation from the 4th official. It'll be a free kick. It's taken pretty quickly, as the majority of them have been more latterly by Reysol. Shimamura is trying to find a way through. It comes here for Hosoya. Tsuchiya. Diego's in there. Oh, brilliant header! Might just have won the game in stoppage time. And a celebration to match. After the fullback thumps in the header to restore the Kashiwa Reysol lead. Well, that was some finish. What had been, until that point, a fairly frustrating afternoon for him. Played a part in the concession of the equaliser. He'd been booked a few minutes ago. Looked like the frustration might have been beginning to get the better of him until this. Look at the power that he generated and the accuracy of the header as well into the space beyond Sugano. Scores for the first time since September. In the defeat here against Avispa Fukuoka. That was his only goal since he was on target for Sagan Tosu at Consadole in August of 2022. He doesn't get many. Once again, Consa have been on the receiving end though. A memorable goal from Diego. And potentially a match-winning goal. In about 4 more minutes from here. Hosoya. Back-to-back wins very much back on track for Reysol. They must be wondering what has hit them. Came a little out of left field, really, in every sense. Reysol looking to potentially settle it, although Kinishita's preference was to hold on to the ball and to try and keep his footing first to do so. Which was proving easier said than done. He'll settle for the outcome. There's the unlikely match winner, maybe. Unless there's an even later twist in the tail. Stoppage time goal for Reysol for the 2nd game in succession. Sawyer, who won it against Shonan Bellmare on Wednesday here, at a very similar stage of the game. Very same minute of the match. First additional minute, but Consa aren't done yet. They have players in support of the attack here. It's an important deflection, actually. Took a bit of the sting out of it. Took it too close to Matsumoto. Was able to come and gather it at some personal expense. It would have been a great hurry to get back to his feet. Suzuki Hara's shot. Touch on the way through did make it more straightforward for the goalkeeper to gather. It would be a third home win in 5 for Kashiwa Reysol. He will be left bitterly disappointed, I'm sure, if this does end like this, wondering how his team haven't come away with anything. Performances have been improving from Consadole. More is still going to be required if they're to stay up this season. Comfortably mid-table over the course of the last few years under Petrovic. Was 12th last year, 10th the season before. That's been their type of territory more latterly. Have they got anything left here though? Having to push players forward, which is going to leave space up the other end. The priority though for Shimomura is just to keep hold of the ball, tick the clock down into the last of the 6 additional minutes. There might be a little bit more beyond that. The goal, of course, having been scored in additional time. Kawaguchi in no hurry. Job is almost done. Shows the character in the side, doesn't it? That they've been able to leave it late for the second game running. Belief has remained intact that they could find a way through, even when at one stage in the second half it was Consa looking the more likely really to do so. 6 additional minutes have now been played. To the referee how much longer we go on for. There might be another chance yet for Consadole. Door is shut in their face this time. Masoya slips it through. Here's Kinoshita, and he has the space and the time. And what's he going to do here? Well, he was unselfish, could have gone for goal himself. Looking for Sashir instead. It matters not though. It was the last attack of the game, and courtesy of that late winner from Diego, Kashiwa Reysol had already done enough, and they win at home for the second time this week, courtesy of the goal beyond the 90 minutes. And it's come at a real cost for Consa. They've got themselves back on terms against Ihara's side inside the first 2 minutes of the second half. Toshima's goal had them trailing at the break. Komai got Consa back on terms, and they look the likelier winners for long spells, did Petrovic's team, before Diego's first goal of the season. Memorable thumping header from the fullback settled the issue in stoppage time for Kashiwa Reysol. Back-to-back wins, having beaten Shonan Bellmare here on Wednesday night. They've seen off another of the strugglers. Consa missed the chance to close the gap between themselves and safety. Positive performance at times to reflect upon, but ultimately no points. They too had come into this on the back of a victory, but they are beaten here at the SANKYO Frontier. It's finished Kashiwa Reysol 2, Hokkaido Consadole Sapporo 1. They still can't quite believe it, can they? Gave so much to the contest at Consadole. They've been a spirited second half showing in particular to pick themselves up, to battle back from behind, get themselves back on terms so soon after the interval. And there was plenty of time for them to go on and win the game, and it looked like they may well be in the mood to do so. They have won just twice all season. A point here which it looked like would be the least that they deserved. Would have been, I think, still a useful result. The fact that it was snatched away from them in stoppage time is the reason for the scenes of dejection as they go across to greet those travelling fans preparing to make the long trip home back north to Hokkaido empty-handed. The challenge for Petrovic is to ensure that his team are able to bounce back from this, that they are able to take the positives from that performance, because you suspect if they continue playing in such a fashion, they will be okay this year. There is still time and opportunity for them to recover. But the early season Consadole concerns continue after this result. Defensive deficiencies that have cost them for much of the campaign. A couple of little lapses today, ruthlessly punished by Diego at the end. An unlikely match winner really for Kashiwa Reysol, but they are upwardly mobile as a result of this vital victory, which will take them into the top half of the table. The fifth victory of the season for the side, still beaten only 3 times all year. Firm foundation from which to push on, maybe, in the latter stage of the campaign for last season's beaten cup finalists. They've kept the majority of that squad intact under Masami Ihara for his first full season in charge. And there's plenty potentially to look forward to on the evidence of what we are beginning to see. They started the season so strongly, and after a couple of slips, they are back moving in the right direction again. To get some reaction from the match winner.
Sabíamos que esse é um jogo difícil, tivemos outras chances, não conseguimos finalizar, converter em gol, mas faz parte do futebol e graças a Deus pude ser feliz aí e ajudar a minha equipe a sair com a vitória, que é o mais importante.
非常に難しいゲームになるだろうというふうに、みんなそこは分かってねゲームに入ったんですけど、何が起こるのかが分からない。それが